Do you want to see how this product from Seicane can actually solve 4 problems that I've got with my Toyota Hilux? Then check out this video. Hi there guys, welcome back to another one of my videos. My name is Ross and today we're going to be looking at this product from Seicane. Now this is a screen that actually goes over your rear view mirror that gives you multiple cameras, Android Auto, Apple CarPlay and much more. Today I'm going to be putting this onto my Toyota Hilux and I'm hoping it's going to solve these 4 problems. This is a Toyota, therefore the maps that it actually comes with are utterly useless and you might as well nip down the shops and buy yourself a paper copy. So therefore problem 2, you go ahead and use your phone, and there's only limited space where you can actually put your phone in this car, and I do find it quite annoying having it there, a bit of a distraction. Problem 3, the vision out the rear view mirror is really limited. Now this is obviously a truck, and therefore as soon as you put something in the back it does block your view out the window. And as you can see I've got a couple of car seats there as well and they pretty much block the window in. And problem number 4, I do about 1,000 kilometers a week in this car. I do see a lot of incidents on the road and a lot of people being silly. Therefore it'd be good to have a dash cam just in case I'm involved in an incident. I've got some backup and some proof of what happened. And this is what you're going to see in this video. First off, we're going to start by unboxing the product. I'll lay out all of the accessories and talk you through the specification and the quality of the product as well. We're then going to go ahead and install it on my Toyota Hilux, and I'm going to point out where I'm going to mount the camera because it's a little bit different to normal, so you might want to stick around for that. And then I'll obviously show you the user interface, how to connect your phone, and also I'll show you some images from the front and rear cameras. Okay, so let's start unboxing it. Now this is exactly as I received it in the post. Obviously it was in a parcel, but this is the box untouched. Now it does just confirm that it's a 4K model on the side there. They did make this in a 2.7K as well. And whilst we're looking around it, I'm just going to be yelling out the specifications that I've taken from the website. So just to go ahead and open this up now. I actually haven't opened this product before making this video, so this is me looking at it for the first time. And obviously we've just got a load of protection there for when it's in transit. And then this is our screen here. So nicely protected. Just open it up now. It's actually got a plastic film on the front there, so that's not the finished look just yet. But just have a quick look around it. So we've got our USB Type-C, AV input output there. We've got a slot for a micro SD, and then our auxiliary cable can go in there. And then there's a power button on the underside. And then obviously this is the front facing camera, and that opens and closes like that depending on the size of your rear view mirror. Now just to talk about the size of this screen, this is actually 275mm long by 72mm tall, and that gives us 1920 pixels across the width and 440 pixels across the depth there. So this camera looks like you can actually move it around. Yep, you can. So depending on the angle of your rear view mirror, you can obviously face that so it's straight. And that is the 4K camera. I'm just going to go ahead and start to peel this off. I'll then put it back on. Okay, so that is really mirror reflective. So I didn't know really what to expect from this. Obviously when you got the screen on, it would take over the mirror effect, but that is really good just as a mirror. Now these tabs that you see sticking out, whilst they're a bit ugly, they obviously serve a purpose, and that's how you actually wrap the bands around the rear view mirror. So inside here, so this is let's open up the bags first off. So you've got a pry tool, so this is just going around any plastic in the car and you can just pry them a little bit to get the cables in, just to keep the cable installation nice and neat. They actually give you an aux cable, and it looks pretty long as well. That's probably about a 3-meter aux cable you get with that. Inside this bag, we've got these tabs, you give 4, not sure where you 2 different sizes. So there's 2 different sizes of bands, again, dependent on the size of your mirror. And then these just clip in like that, go around your mirror, and then clip in that side as well. And then your mirror would sit in there. And there is just some sticky pads here. I would imagine just to keep the cables neat. So you just slide the cable through. Okay, so this is our rear view camera. So this is the 1080p rear view camera. And again, it looks like it comes with a really nice length cable there. I'm not gonna go in and open that, but I would imagine just from the look of it, that's gonna be very long. And it's one where you can actually position in one direction as well. And lastly, we've got this one here, which is our power supply. So this is just a 12-volt accessory power supply that goes to a USB-C. Again, nice long cable for you to get the cable all the way around the trim to the mirror. Now what I would say is this unit actually does do 24-hour security mode as well, but I would imagine you need to run permanent power for that, which they haven't actually given a kit. You may have to do something with one of these accessory sockets just to make sure it's permanent. Now let's get this on the car. And that's now the unit installed. Now it didn't take me a long time really, it took me maybe half hour. You can see I actually used the shorter clips for the back mirror. I've now taken off my phone mount, and it was really handy to actually have this trim tool to be able to poke the wires around. So here we go, and that's what the finished product looks like. So it's a pretty neat install. The cables could do with a bit of a cable tie around them just to keep them neat, but I'm pretty happy with how it's come out. Now I'll just pop over the other side and show you where I've hidden the cables. Okay, so the cables actually go up there. I was able to use the trim tool to get them all the way under the headline in there. They then come around, go down this plastic here, all the way down, and then actually behind the glove box. And then two of the cables pop out here. We've got the aux there, or auxiliary, and then we've got the power over there, which is actually the auxiliary port I don't normally use, so it's not going to bother me being there. And then I've actually cabled the rear camera all the way down, goes all the way down, comes up through the tub, up along my light bar there, and you can actually see my camera there below the beacon. Now the reason I've put it here is so that when I've got things in the back, or when I'm towing my camper trailer, the camera will actually see it straight over the top, which is going to be really helpful. Now something you might notice, there's a red cable just hanging here. Now I'm actually not going to use this, but I will show you what its purpose is. So this wires to your reverse light bulb, and when you go into reverse, it actually activates that camera, and you can actually have the parking markings on there as well. I'll now quickly show you how easy it is to actually undo the clips here. So you just need two hands and you pull on the rubber and it actually just comes straight off. Now, although I've actually fitted it, I've not turned it on. So the next thing we're going to do is actually look at the user interface. So we're now sat in the car and we're ready to turn it on for the very first time. Now I'm going to start the car because it's very hot here at the moment. So excuse the loud noise here, but it allows me to get the air conditioning on. And there we go, we're loading up. Now you will notice I've still got the screen protector on there, and that's just because I get a lot of glare off the screen onto the camera if I don't have it on there. I did just do a test. Now it has also said that the TF card is loading, so that's the micro SD that I've actually put in there for the dash cam. So I put a 64GB card in there just so I can get a nice load of recordings. So I'm going to say yes to English. And then this is our home page. So going from left to right, we've got CarPlay there for your iPhone lovers, Android Auto for the Android lovers, DVR there, which is our cameras, playback for the cameras, and then audio output. We'll get to that in just a second. First off, we'll start with the DVR. So here are the two cameras I've actually got onto the car. So that's the forward facing one, and then that's the rear facing one, and you can make them go full screen as well. So there we go, that's the front one. So that's coming from right up here. And then here's the rear one that I've actually got mounted up on that light bar. So really good quality, and they look a lot better when you've got the film off as well. So I'm an Android lover, so I'm going to click on Android Auto, and it gives you some instructions there for how you can connect. We're just going to go to your Bluetooth settings all the way down to your bottom, and then tap pair, and it should give you a couple of prompts. Yep, just saying, do you want to pair? Yes, I do. May take a little while just to get set up, and there we go, we're actually into Android Auto. So we can do multiple things here. We can actually set up like split screens as well, like that. And we can have a look back here. If you go into our main settings, we can go down here to the bottom left, and then it gives you all of your options. So if I tap split screen mode there, and I want to go split screen and I want the camera to be there, and we go back onto Android Auto, we've actually got a camera there now. You can scroll through both of them, and then we can use all the features of Android Auto. Just to go back into those settings, just talk you through some of the other. Obviously you can change your brightness and your dimming. You've got driving position, whether you're on the left or the right, assistive touch, clear connections, HD recording. So this is the quality of the recording from the cameras. So I've got it set to 4K there. Split time, so this is how long the actual segments of video are. I'll set that to 3 minutes. Mirror image, this is where if you want the rear image to actually be reversed, you can do that as well. Driving lines, so this is when we connect the red cable, these driving lines will actually come up like that. So obviously you can reverse into position. But as you know, I've got my camera up high and it wouldn't be too useful setting that up. We've got language, sound, voice control, date and time, storage info for how we're going to store some of those files. We can format the whole SD card, we can do a factory reset, and we can look for firmware upgrades as well. Now, one final feature I'm just going to show you on this is the audio outputs. Now, obviously, using Android Auto, it's going to be getting any music from our phone, and we can choose to have that coming out the speaker, Bluetooth, the FM. So if we tap FM, hit confirm. So you can set this backwards and forwards, and as long as you've set your radio up to the same frequency, it will actually work, or the auxiliary cable, which, as you know, I have also run on this system. And now for the final reveal. The image is so much crisper. It's a shame you probably can't see it on the camera because it is really, really good quality. So what I'm going to do now is just very quickly put up some footage from the front camera and the rear camera. Now, they're both at daylight and they're absolutely perfect. I'm just going to also show you the nighttime images. Front camera and the back camera. One final thing I wanted to show you before we wrap this video up is how reflective it is as a mirror when the screen is off, and it is really, really impressive. So here are my thoughts on this Seicane 11-inch rear view mirror screen. But first, before I go ahead and tell you my pros and cons on the product, I'm just going to talk to you about the price. Now, at the time of filming this video, this was $109 US on the Seicane website, and I will leave a link in the description down below. And I think you'll probably agree with me that for the quality of this product and everything that it can do, that is a really, really budget-friendly price. So here's some of the things I really like about this product. As I just mentioned, first off, we've got the price, and I think that's a really reasonable price for something with so many features, and also the build quality is really good. And the touchscreen is as good as using most phones. It's really responsive, not to mention how much of a mirror it looks like when the screen's off as well. The other things I like, how instantly it loaded, and the setup of this was really, really simple. Now, it didn't come with any instructions in the box, which I was surprised at, but it's really intuitive and really easy to use, so you're not going to need those anyway. And it does just load up almost as quick as the Toyota system does on the car, so that's pretty impressive. Another feature that I really liked about it is there was multiple outputs for the audio, whether it be via the FM transmitter or the aux cable, but it did also allow you just to continue using the car's system for the phone as well. Now, you just have to select some options, but you can just still use the phone system on the car rather than using the phone system on the screen, and that is a downfall of other screens that I have tested. And now for the minor items I felt could use a little bit more improvement. First off, the rear camera quality isn't quite as good as the front camera quality. Now, it is a 1080p rather than a 4K, so it seems obvious, but I don't really understand why that couldn't have been 4K as well, and especially as the main purpose for me having this product is actually for the rear camera, not the front camera. Another interesting thing about the rear camera, you could flip it horizontally, but you actually couldn't flip it vertically in the software. So I actually had the camera upside down the first time I installed it, and I couldn't correct it in software. I had to go and turn the camera around. Now you know that, it's probably not going to be a problem for you. The video output quality didn't quite seem as good as the image you get on the screen. Now, it is still 4K and 1080, but the pixels don't seem as clear as they do actually on the screen itself when you download the videos. Another thing to mention, and this would probably be the same with any one of these screens that goes on your rear view mirror, it puts a lot of extra weight on the mirror, and sometimes it can flip down. I've actually put a couple of cable ties behind mine just to hold it in place and make it a bit more solid. But again, you're actually adding more weight to that rear view mirror, so it's quite understandable that's going to happen. The other thing with the mounting is that the tabs have started to bend around the mirror, which could be by design, but I do think that will probably loosen over time, so you may need to get some new straps on there maybe a year down the line. Now, the last thing I'm going to mention is just the integrated speaker. That definitely could use some improvement if you're going to use that. Now, I'm lucky enough that I can still use all of the sound system in the car, so it's not a problem for me at all. And that brings me to the end of my review on this Seicane 11-inch rear view mirror screen. If you found this video interesting or helpful, please do give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment down below, check out some of my other videos and subscribe to my channel.